Good afternoon. Hi, I'm walking out with the dog again. I'm struggling with this camera because I've lost my gimbal. Now, I've searched everywhere. Searched the car and searched the house and I can't find it. So I haven't got a clue what I've done with it. And it was a really useful bit of kit. So, yeah, just a bit of a moan there. But yeah, the weather's warmer. Everything's better. So happy days. We're in March now. So yeah, spring is here. Anyway, today I'm going to just discuss a topic which is quite a controversial topic. I'm going to address sobriety and not drinking. Now, I just want to... Where's the dog? I just want to be clear about this. I've got nothing against people drinking. I work in a bar. I absolutely got nothing against people drinking alcohol. I think it's great. It's fun to have a few drinks, you know, with your friends or go out and have a party. I used to enjoy it. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people are shouting, Kitty, come on. So I'm not against drinking, and I'm not against people, you know, if they want to have, they've been working hard to come home, have a beer, have a glass of wine with a meal. It's not an issue, you know, it's for most people, it's perfectly normal, and that's fine. But the people I'm targeting with these videos now are going to be, you know, someone like myself. I'm now sober, been sober over 17 years, not drank alcohol. So, Kitty, come here. Oh my God, there's a load of dogs just got loose from the house down the road. Kitty, come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, yeah. See why they're shouting now. Their Labradors have got loose. They live at the bottom of the hill and they get out of the fence sometimes. They've got two black Labradors. Anyway, they've not followed us, so... And luckily I've caught a kitty. Well, I haven't caught him, but he's here with me. Good lad. Yeah, good boy. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, some people, talking about all ages, and this subject basically covers any age. I've known, from going to AA, I've known people in their 50s and 60s who maybe not drank before, or not drank very much, but maybe when they've retired, they've resorted to drinking all the time and have become alcoholic, you know. And when I say alcoholic, I mean dependent on alcohol. Like, you know, you can't go a day without it. I mean, you can't go a few hours without it in some cases, but you can't go, or maybe just drink once a week, but it's to excess, and you know, you're finding you're getting yourself into the difficult situation, or it's impacting your health. But I'm targeting people who are any age, and can be anybody from 12, 13 these days, kids, and in the olden days, drinking. I'm targeting people who have got a problem with it. Maybe they know it, maybe they don't know it. A lot of people will they will shut their eyes or block, you know, just ignore the fact, bury their head in the sand, ignore the fact that they might have a problem. When I say a problem, is when it's affecting your life. When you have to have a drink, when you say you've been working, you come home from work, and the first thing you do is open a bottle of wine, and then you go on to the next bottle of wine, or you come home and you have a couple of beers, and that's the only thing that matters, getting home and having a few beers, or a few whiskies, or whatever it is. It can be anything. And at first, like with myself, I always drank normally, what I call normal. You know, I could go out, I could drink quite a lot. It didn't actually affect me that much, but I didn't like getting drunk. So, like on holiday, if we had, like, tequila was a biggie for me. If I had tequila on holiday, I was ill. You know, that was the one thing that did make me ill. So, you know, I could basically barely walk, and, you know, next day took 2 days to recover, kind of thing. So there are certain, there are certain drinks that affect some people. But I'm talking about normally, I would be able to drink and I'd be absolutely fine. And I'd actually start drinking water at the end of the night, say, because I didn't want a hangover, or I didn't want to feel ill the next day, or I just didn't want to get drunk. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be out of control. So this is a kitty. So, you know, it was, for a long time it was like that, and it was fine. But I had a couple of, for me, I say that there's genetics involved as well. My uncle died when he was 59. He died about a year after I got sober, so I stopped drinking. We used to go out and drink together and get drunk. And he was So I would say genetically I have got a genetic background of problems with alcohol. My parents, no, definitely not. My mother can drink open a bottle of wine, drink a glass and put it in the fridge, which is, for me, sorry, but that just doesn't happen. That's not normal. But yeah, and my father, when he was alive, he could have a few cans of, say, John Smith bitter, and that would be fine. He wouldn't be drunk. In fact, I don't think I ever saw my father drunk. But my uncle, his younger brother, had got a problem, and he'd always drank a lot. But his problem really started when my cousin, his son, died at 18 in a motorbike crash, and he did start drinking to excess then. Then he lost his license, lost his car license, driving license, lost his job, basically sat at home and drank himself to death. Quite literally ended up, liver just basically gave up in hospital. It was absolutely horrific. That was at the age of 59, and I'm like 57 now, you know, and it could have easily have been me. But I'm saying, obviously further back, I don't know further back. My grandparents on neither side were drinkers. Yes, my father's parents, 11 o'clock was a weekend, was G&T time, or when they had their yacht on the boat, they used to drink, but not to excess, if you know what I mean. And it wasn't like they had to. It wasn't a case of they had to. My other grandparents, my mother's side, my gran had a little tot of whiskey every night until she died, and she was nearly 100. She was 99, just a few weeks off 100 when she died. My grandfather, he had a heart problem, and he died in his 90s as well. He was one of the first early pacemaker test kind of, when they first brought the pacemaker, he was one of the initial testers kind of thing. So, but he never drank. He was teetotal completely. Don't know why. Just apparently always had been. Maybe a bit of religion, I'm not sure. I've got cousins from that side who don't drink and never drank. Again, I don't know. I think it's probably they just don't want to drink, and they, but obviously, I mean, I don't know how far back it goes, but there obviously is when I say genetic, there is something in your brain that is different, in that when people have died, they've opened up their brain in special research groups, and they find that there is something different in their brain. So maybe that's the case with drug addicts as well. So yeah, and I worry about my kids. I mean, they don't drink much. My son likes to drink, but he doesn't drink daily or regularly, do you know what I mean? So it's not an issue. But so basically that was my issue started with drinking, was I had a mate, my father died suddenly, that with a massive trauma which I've never really got over, and my husband left me when I'd had our second child. My daughter was cesarean, and I was left at home literally on my own. I was driving straight away. That was a traumatic experience, which I don't want to talk about in too depth here, but it was very bad. And I think that just coping, eventually I turned to alcohol. And I wasn't big for going out, never been a biggie for going out, but I used to drink at home. When the kids were ready for bed, gone to bed, I'd start drinking, and it was cider mainly and beer, and luckily it wasn't the really hard stuff, but it was enough to basically nearly kill me. And it got, at first you never really noticed it, but it got to a point when I started losing a job, 2 jobs. Oh God, what have I just trodden on? I wish, I feel like some days I need to bring a bin bag and pick up all the litter. That's one thing I can't stand, is people dropping litter, especially in beautiful places like this. I will bring a bin bag one day and I will pick up a load, but I keep saying that, but I mean it, because it just annoys me. Why can't people just take the rubbish home with them? Or, to take it home, put it in the bin when you get out. There's plenty of bins about. Sorry for that rant. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, my drinking started then, and it got bad, and it was all the typical features of a functioning alcoholic. I say functioning because it was functioning at first, because people didn't realise, you could go out somewhere, say shopping, but you'd buy your drink, and as soon as you just couldn't wait to get home to open it. And even though I never got done for drink driving, I probably should have done, because I was probably over the limit in the mornings, easily over the limit in the mornings, from the night before. And I think what people don't realise is this is a danger, that if you have quite a few pints in the evening, it takes so long for your liver to process it, that you know, by the morning, if you're getting up at 7, 8 or even 9 to go to work and you're driving, the likelihood is you will be over the limit. And if the police do, which are shifty these days, they will look out for cars in the morning, especially on Christmas time, and they will just randomly pull people. So that is another issue. Even if right, I'm going back. Even if you haven't got an issue, obviously, it's just a part. You've been to a party, say that's another problem you've got to take into account. But what I'm going to be targeting, and I've already created a booklet basically on how to identify if you feel you've got a problem and what to start doing about it. And I was lucky. I had obviously I had my mother around. She was there to pick up the pieces when I wasn't able to. So yeah, and if the kids did go to their fathers when they did, you know, I could go on a bender kind of thing in the house, but yeah, on a bender. So it was pretty serious, to be honest, and I would never want to live like that again. And that's a lot which keeps me sober. I talk to people and they say, "Oh my God, you've done so well. You're amazing. You're so good." I don't really like those words because no, I haven't done amazing. No, I'm not good, because there's nothing bad about having a drink problem. It's you can't help it a lot of the time. You know, if you go to an AA meeting, I can guarantee you, look at the cars outside. It's not what you expect. It's not. Alcoholics are not the park bench tramp that we used to associate with being an alcoholic. That is not a correct, you know, or an accurate representation of a problem for a person with a drink problem. If you go into the actual meetings, you will find that 99% of genuine alcoholics, like people with a drink problem, are highly intelligent, usually have high-paying jobs, usually are very successful, very hard-working, very, very intelligent. And I think that's, you know, a big problem with it, because you tend to, more intelligent you are, the more you think, you know, the more we care. And that's where we turn to drink because we can't cope. And whereas people who are, say, less intelligent, who don't think about things so much, maybe don't care so much, they just go through life, maybe have a drink on a Friday, Saturday night, have a party, and don't think anything of it, and that's fine. But honestly, if you actually went to an AA meeting, you would be quite shocked. I mean, I was very shocked when I went. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. So don't ever feel... I mean, I would go to say, advice-wise, if you think you've got a drink problem, first of all, identify it. You know, do you wait until you get... You know, are you itching to get home to get a drink? Do you stop on the way home to buy a bottle or 2 bottles? Do you focus? Is that your focus? Is just drinking? If you haven't got a job, say, do you find yourself drinking earlier in the day? Do you find yourself even waking up thinking, you know what, I wish I could have a drink now? I mean, obviously, if you've got to that point where you are waking up and you're drinking, then by far that is a problem. I can guarantee that. That is the number one guarantee that you are definitely an alcoholic. And you need to seek help urgently. But if your life revolves around, oh, when can I get it? Where can I get it? And when can I drink it? Then that's a pretty good signal that you've got a problem as well. Because I know that if we were going somewhere, say, if we were on a trip or we were going on holiday or if we were going to visit somebody, it'd always be like a massive plan. Right, how much bottles or cans do I need to last me? Where do I get it from? Where do I stash it? And do I make sure that I've got enough? And if not, when I'm there, where can I get some more if I'm desperate? And that is it's such a sad issue and such a sad fact. But if your brain is working like that, then I pretty much say you've got a problem and you need to address it. And I'm not going to say you're not a bad person. So number one, you are not a bad person. You know, having a drink problem, it's like having an eating disorder or a mental... If you're depressed, you don't say to somebody, oh, you're bad because you're depressed. You know, and often depression does turn to drinking. Anxiety can turn to drinking because you can't cope and you think, oh, I'll have a couple of drinks just to get me through this. Or say you've got presentation at work or something, you might want to drink before it. So yeah, you're not a bad person. Alcoholics are not bad people. Usually they're the kindest, most caring and thoughtful people, but they've just got this addiction. And once you've got this addiction, once it's in you, there's no amount of, and I'll tell you this straight, there is no amount of willpower from anyone who can stop it. Willpower alone will not work. It doesn't matter how good your willpower is. Willpower with an alcoholic or an addict is, forget it. Just forget that word for starters. It does not work. And it's no good saying, oh, I've got a strong willpower. No, I've got very, really strong willpower for lots of things. Absolutely, lots of things. But willpower doesn't come into it when you're an addict. Your body tells you need it so badly. You can actually, I was in blackout towards the end of my drinking, and I can remember being out for 4 or 5 days, and I'd wake, when I eventually kind of, what I thought was I woke up, I'd wake up and on the bed there would be empty carrier bags with receipts and empty cans and bottles everywhere. And I would be like, what day is it? What time is it? And it was like, oh my God, you know. And I remember missing one of my grandmother's birthdays. It was just horrific. And you don't even remember going to the shop. You don't remember driving your car to the shop. You don't remember buying the stuff. I mean, God knows what the assistants must have thought. I had a friend who said she'd seen me driving. She was talking to me. I don't remember talking to her. I don't remember meeting her in the street. And the embarrassment is horrific. The shame is horrific. So I've been there, believe it. I've been there, done it and seen it. There are some things I haven't done, I have to say. I'm lucky in that respect. It did get bad, but there's some things I didn't do, which some people do, and again, you shouldn't be ashamed, honestly. I mean, I always had the money for drink, so that wasn't an issue, but honestly, I lost 1, 2, 3 jobs. I smashed up a car. How I got away with it, I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty serious. So anyway, number 1, identify you've got a problem. If you're going out to buy it all the time, if you're worried about what people are saying to you, if you're worried about what people are thinking, and if you're worried that people are watching you, then there's a reason for that. Believe me, you're not being paranoid. Because if you were just a normal drinker, you would be able to drink happily. If you're hiding it, that's a biggie. Now I could tell you all the places in the world you can hide alcohol, and people would not believe me. I used to hide it underneath the toilet at the back. I've hidden it in the cistern. I've hidden it in the shower. I've hidden it basically anywhere in the house. Anywhere you can hide it. And to be honest, when I got sober, I found and sold one of the houses. I found bottles and cans in places I didn't know, and I was pissed off because I was like, I could have drank that. I'm so pissed off. In fact, it was so bad that I actually had pancreatitis. I was admitted to the hospital urgently, nearly died, and I had one can of cider in my bloody bag with me and going to the hospital. And I was strapped up to these bloody machines, and all I could think about was that one can of cider, Strongbow cider, in my bag. I wanted to get it and I couldn't get it. And I was dying of some pancreatitis. And when I came out of that, and I survived luckily, I was told I could never drink again, and I stopped drinking. But I still remember thinking about that can, thinking, what a waste, why didn't I just drink it when I could? What a waste of a can. And that is how the brain works. So yeah, hiding it, thinking you're wasting it, just believe me, pour it down. If you've got any alcohol in the house, you've got an issue, pour it down the sink. So number 1, identify you've got an issue, and that isn't really that hard. Facing up to it or wanting to stop, let me just say, I didn't think I would be able to stop. I thought I would. I've got FOMO, fear of missing out. I honestly thought I'd been missing out. I thought everyone drank. I thought it was normal, and I thought if I didn't drink, then I'd be some kind of weirdo, that I'd be some kind of alien or something, and I wouldn't, my whole life was over. I wouldn't be able to go on holiday. I wouldn't be able to have fun anymore. Believe me, that is the complete opposite. Loads of people don't drink. It's not an issue. I love not drinking now. I just love it. I love going out with, when I went on holiday recently, I met some people. and some British people, just a few of them, and they were drinking every night, and we had a whale of a time, and I was absolutely loving just not drinking. Loved it. I'd actually run down to the shop because they didn't sell non-alcoholic beer. Well, they didn't. I went all inclusive, which is another thing. I was like, when I was drinking, I thought, oh my God, how could you couldn't go to an all inclusive and not drink? How could you do that? Hey, Gilly, come on, we've got to get back. I've got to go to work. So yeah, God, still got this runny nose. Come on. So yeah, going all inclusive, and they didn't have any non-alcoholic drinks, only like soft drink. So I run down to the local shop, which was about, Killy, come on, which was about 1.5 miles away. I think I've just heard somebody. About 1.5 miles away, and get a load of zero alcohol beer, zero alcohol gin tonics, which are lovely, which taste exactly the same. Zero Guinness, which I drink at work quite a lot now. Absolutely lovely. So yeah, don't think that you're going to be missing out. And I think that's what's a big issue for a lot of people. They think they're going to miss out, and they're going to be thought of as weird if they can't drink. And yeah, you will get people say, well, why don't you drink? Why aren't you drinking? And all I can say is you can either be totally honest and just tell them the truth, which I tend to do, or you can just say, I've got a health problem, or I'm on medication, which is perfectly legitimate. You know, you don't have to say, you don't even have to say what, you can just say I don't want to drink, full stop. You don't have to answer to anybody, it's your life. So that's my second point really, is you're not missing out, and you can live without alcohol. Life is 10 times better without it, believe me. It's not perfect. I still get depressed, I still get anxious, I still got problems, as you know from my videos, but life in general, if I was drinking now, God help me, I'd have been in a right state. No way, I don't want to drink. And it's not a thing of, I've got resisting it or temptation. I haven't got any, you know. Somebody said to me they were trying to get me to go to one of the local bars after work, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And then when we were talking to them about drinking and that, and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry, I feel so guilty, you know, I feel so bad encouraging. No, you can still go to a pub and not drink alcohol. They have so many alcohol-free alternatives now. You can still go and have a good time. So no, you're not missing out, and you're definitely not losing out. You're making up for lost time with regards to myself in a way. Maybe, you know, if some of you have lost, I know I've lost days, weeks, I've lost years probably with my life drinking. So you know, stopping drinking is a benefit, not a missing out part. Now I've just looked, and I'm on 25 minutes, and I've been waffling for that long, and just walking down this hill, which I usually run down, but I think I can hear people, so I might have to catch the dog, and also aware of the time. But anyway, I didn't want to make a really long video. So first of all, yeah, identify if you've got a problem. 2, just realise you're not going to miss out. Just don't think about that. 3, ask for help. And if you're scared to ask anybody, leave a comment and I'll message you back or whatever. You know, leave a comment on the video. Just Google AA. Look for your local AA meeting. Don't be worried about who's in there, who's going to see you. You know, it doesn't matter, because I'm not being funny, but if anybody is in there that you know, they're not going to want you to know that they're there probably anymore. I mean, that's why it's called anonymous. But I would start off at AA. And if you can't get to an AA meeting, or you really don't want to go, then look up resources online, because there's a lot of, I think there's even online AA meetings now. So that could be an option. That's something I need to look into actually, and maybe put a link down below, and maybe put some other options. There's also, you can go and see your doctor. I mean, that's probably, I would suggest, would be the first port of call, is just go and see your doctor and say that you're worried you're drinking too much, and see what they say. Now, I'm not really an advocate of many doctors, because I had a doctor that I went to see after I'd stopped drinking, and he said that I would probably be alright to start drinking again. Absolutely ridiculous, because he said it was just that I was addicted before, and once I broke off the addiction, then I'd be okay to drink normally. Oh no, that's a no-go. So be wary. Get advice off your doctor. Obviously, if you drink a lot, and I mean a lot, and you stop drinking suddenly, you can go into withdrawal. These can be very dangerous withdrawals as well. So I don't want to scare anyone. You'd have to be drinking a lot every day to have a serious problem of withdrawal. Maybe just cut down to start off with. Maybe just, if you're drinking, say, I don't know, if you're drinking 4 cans a day, I don't think you're going to have a problem with withdrawal, honestly. If you're drinking 8 to 10 or more, you're probably going to get a slight withdrawal. You're going to feel a bit iffy, flu-like symptoms, sick, that sort of thing, off your food. Sweaty is a big one. So maybe just cut down over a few weeks. Just make a diary, put it in your diary, make a list, a plan of what you're going to drink each day, say over a 2 to 3 week, 4 week maybe period, and cut down like that, and then look at ways of how to stay stopped. But anyway, I'm going to finish off here, but as I said, I've got a booklet I put together, a PDF, of how to stop, and I will make that available. Just wanted to record a quick video today because, as I said, I've been busy and I just haven't had a chance, to be honest. And I want to focus on the sobriety part, because I think there's an awful lot of people out there helping people with mental health and depression and anxiety, but there's not that many people willing to talk about stopping drinking or their drink problems. And having stopped for as long as I have, and having lived what I call many lives, I feel that I probably am more qualified than some to talk about it. So if I can be of any help, then put a comment in the bottom below, and we shall catch up with you again soon. So take care, go easy on yourself. Remember, you're not a bad person, honestly. We all have some kind of thing that we use. We all have something to help us cope with life. It's all different, and if you're drinking too much, then it's so easy to fall into. And believe me when I say there's many, many more people out there than you realise who are struggling. And once you start meeting other people in the same boat, and you start sharing, like as I said in AA, honestly, you will feel a lot better, and you feel like you're part of a community in a way. And it can be, for a lot of people, it can be life changing, and I hope this helps. So I'll leave it there. Take care, see you again soon.